Hey guys, welcome back to the Basis Trade Engine educational video series. If you haven't already, please go back to videos number 1 and 2 and watch those videos because we went through what is a basis trade, how you can earn money from it, accessing the Basis Trade Engine, which will be key to following along with this video. So this session will be using the Basis Trade Engine to scan for trading opportunities, things to look out for, the APR stability, and a few other things. Okay, so here we are on the Basis Markets webpage. This should look familiar to you if you've been following along so far or you are a long-term NFT holder. Now that we've logged in with our NFT, you can see that there's been new tabs that have opened up. That includes the funding opportunities, coin analysis, funding data, borrow data, and that enables us to see what's happening on the Basis Trade Engine. So let's start off on the funding opportunities page. The Basis Trade Engine, if you're looking at it for the first time, it can be quite daunting and overwhelming to see so many different things popping up on the page. So let's start and have a look at the different areas, the different elements on the page and see exactly what they do. So strategies up here. So you can see that I've got 2 listed there and I have the option to delete those, but I won't for now. This first strategy has been saved just based on the default parameters that the Basis Trade Engine sets up. So that will leave me as you see right now. But if I go to that second strategy that I've created, you'll see that only FTX trades pop up. So I've now clicked on it. You can see it's set the filters, it's set my capital, and now we can go and apply that to the machine, the engine, and let that run its course. So now we have all of those trades that are listed, that are tradable on FTX, and both sides on FTX, so the long and the short side on only FTX exchange. So how did I do that? So to create a new strategy, we need to go into here and set our parameters. So let's say we want FTX, Bybit, and Bitfinex, and we want the total volume in the last 24 hours to be over 5.2 million or 5 million, and leverage short $10,000 in capital. And we want all of the trade types and all of the products to pop up. So now we'll create that strategy, and then if I play around with this again, I'll click back on that strategy and you can see it repopulates the filters for me, and then we go to apply. And there you see, now you've got Bitfinex, you've got FTX, you've got multiple exchanges popping up, as where previously you only had FTX exchanges popping up. So for the purpose of this video series, I'm going to only be using FTX exchange to get in and get out of my trades and place the long and the short side of the trade, just for simplicity, just so you can follow along in the easiest way possible. I've got FTX exchange selected. The volume, let's leave that. Minimum confidence, we can select as 3 stars, or let's go for 4 stars. And a $10,000 capital we've got in our account. So I have funded an account with $10,000. And the trade types that we want is basis, reverse basis, long and short, products, spot perpetuals, and futures. So all of the products that are available, all of the trade types that are available, and we will apply that to the trade engine and let it scan for those opportunities for us. So while that's happening, we want to go and see, first of all, the APR stability. Is that trending higher or lower? The trade confidence. How confident is the Basis Trade Engine in that trade? Obviously, with a higher star rating, the more confident and the more secure the trade can be said to be. And then the volume. So volume is going to be key for us to get in and out of the trade. So the less liquid coins are going to be very, very hard to get in and get out efficiently. And that's one of the challenges that you're going to be faced when you're basis trading. So ideally, we want the volume to be at a level where we can get in and out with the capital that we have most effectively. So ideally at the same price on the perp and the same price on the spot, or even if we get lucky, we can get a little bit of an advantage and get in a little bit lower on the spot and a little bit higher on the perp. Now we're looking at all of the trades as we've selected on the filters. So FTX exchange only, it's got $10,000 as our capital, and it's got all of the trade types that are available at the moment. So I'm going to go and select all of these trades to pop up and no limit on the rows that the page shows. So you can see that all of these trades are available on FTX exchange on the long and the short side. So you only need to be operating on FTX exchange to execute these. Next, so depending on the type of capital that you're working with, you want to be aware of the volume. So the volume will allow you to get in on the long or the short side and get out on the long or the short side. And obviously with coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and even Rune in this case, you're going to be able to get in and out more easily than you are going to be able to on coins like Media. So yeah, these lower capped coins are going to be harder to get in and get out and efficiently execute these trades, which is highly important as your account grows and even as you start off. So you need to be very wary of the ability to get in and out of the trade. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to stick to the more liquid coins and show you in the fastest way how to get in and out most efficiently. And one that's popped up to me is Rune. So Rune is currently paying 49.69% APR on the perpetual contract. So there's a negative funding rate right now, and that means that longs are being paid to be long the perpetual contract, and we want to take advantage of that. So it's a reverse basis trade, meaning that we're on the opposite side of the perp, we're on the long side of the perp rather than the short, to take advantage of the basis. So that would mean that we go long 20,000, so we're on 2x leverage on our $10,000 account, long $20,000 worth of Rune perpetual on FTX, and then we're shorting $20,000 of the spot product. And we need to make sure that the spot product is available to be borrowed on margin. That's a key parameter that we need to be aware of, because if you can't do that, there's no point even looking at this trade. But as far as I'm aware, on FTX at the moment, it is available. Okay, so what you see on top here is the unleveraged APR, so 49.69%. APY is 114% without leverage. And then at 2x leverage, that jumps up to 99.37% leveraged APR, and then a 228% leveraged APY. And that's what you see translated down here. So when we double the leverage, we go 2x, we get 20,000 on the perp and 20,000 on the spot products. And that gives us the leveraged APRs you see here. And on that initial 10 grand, you're earning $191 a week, $828 a month, and almost 10 grand a year on your initial $10,000, which is insane. And you're on a centralized exchange. You've got that counterparty risk as being a centralized exchange, which is, probably the best case scenario in the world that we live in. Now we can jump in and see the funding rate analysis. So if we scroll over and hover over FTX, the blue line, you can see that it's consistently falling lower. And now something to be aware of and to do your due diligence on the trade is to find out why it is trending lower. And it may be just a natural effect of people wanting to short Rune, but it could also be something more sinister, as in a smart contract vulnerability, or people going delta neutral for an airdrop or something like that. It really does help to understand why that is happening right now. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to dive into that, but all I can look at right now is what the Basis Trade Engine is showing us and show you how to execute on what it shows you. Okay, so that's Rune. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to execute on that trade and get in the most efficient way possible, being long the perp, collecting that funding rate, collecting that yield that exists, but maintaining delta neutral status by shorting the spot product. So in this video, I think it's important to understand that the APR must be stable for you to consistently yield those returns each hour on FTX. And you can monitor that via the Basis Trade Engine over here. So you can see how that APR is trending. If it's trending higher, that's good. But if it's trending lower, that's a consideration you have to take. And maybe an APR that exists now is not going to exist over the coming days. So you need to be keeping an eye on that as well. As you get into the Basis Trade Engine and you learn more and more about it, you're going to be starting to look at those coins with lower volumes, lower liquidity that may offer higher returns as you become more advanced. But for now, if you're a total beginner, I suggest that you look for those coins that are that are more liquid and easier to get in and get out. While they may not pay as well as those lower liquidity coins, there's still a great opportunity to get used to basis trading and start to develop your skills with the basis trades. So in the next video, we'll go on to explore how to execute on FTX exchange. We'll do a live basis trade, a live reverse basis trade for Rune, as we've just gone through in this video. And hopefully that provides some insight into how you can go all the way through from learning about the basis trade engine and what a basis trade is, through to scanning for one on the basis trade engine and filtering through based on volume, based on confidence, based on the trade type or the products that you want to use, the APR stability and your capital, all the way through from there onto the exchange itself, and then executing on these trade details here that the engine is telling you, and collecting that yield and being delta neutral, stress-free, and managing that trade along the way, of course, but getting to the end and then exiting that trade and pocketing that premium that exists between the two contracts. That's all for now. I'll go through the live trade example in video number 4. So that will come in the coming days.